and the trust heading for very challenging times. I think for the trust movement, we're in absolutely uncharted waters. Nobody has been doing it as long as us, and we are going to need every bit of ingenuity and involvement from the membership that we can get, and I'm very committed to playing my part in that. I think it's brilliant that we've got a contested election and so many people here, because that's what we're going to need to weave our way through the times ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Bill.
Hi, I'm Bill Pullman. I'm standing largely because I believe 100% in fan ownership, and I want to see us take full control of the club in the way I believe many of the members want us to stand. I've never been a trustee. I currently run a charity which I co-founded. It's given me a lot of experience of working with charitable kind of organisations, dealing with local government. And my principal reason for standing is that I want to see us see through full accountability, really, for the trust. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Matthew Phillips. I'm 25 years old, so I think one of the younger people standing today. In the interest of being honest, I'm not actually living in Exeter currently. I'm an exile based up in Manchester, where I work for a fairly large professional services firm. My experiences include working with a number of large corporate entities, including sporting entities, and I believe I can bring something slightly different to the trust, and I fully believe in the trust model and try and take it forward over the next 3 years.
Right. My name's Clive Matthews, and I'm currently a co-opted member of the trust board. I just wanted to say a few things, and starting with in this room last May, Paul Tisdale starkly set out the competition we face in terms of money going into other clubs, including those currently in League Bars. And it's an uncomfortable truth that maintaining current levels of funding doesn't mean our club is standing still. It means our club will go backwards. I've been following some of the discussion forums, and if you have, you'll have read the club doesn't care, the trust board are paralysed with fear, neither have any ambition, and the time has come to sweep aside some of that. And for the avoidance of any doubt, a vote for me is not a vote for that. Despite what some will have us believe, the cluster and club boards are working more closely together of late. And I think we can see that as witnessed by some of the statements we've had recently. The State of the Nation, one's about SJP redevelopment, the ex-Barnett away stand, and also our new 3G training pitch. There are certain complaints about a lack of information, ignore an obvious question, which is it sensible to disseminate information while the potential to jeopardise a project remains? Of course, that aside, we always need to seek to improve communication with our members. And lastly, I've heard it said that we're a club in crisis. Yes, results at home have been dreadful, and yes, that's an understatement. Yes, our league position is worrying, yes, we're all depressed, but there are positives too. Our away form, 2 new stands in the offing, a 3G training pitch by the end of this year. I don't see that as a club in crisis. You look onto the pitch and you see the results of our academy. JNT, Ollie Watkins, Ethan Amperdon. We're in a far better place than some will have us believe, and we have no debt. That's the way I'd like to see things continue. Thank you.
Neil Blair, ex-Exiles, live in London, as I suspect most of you know. Been involved for many years, would like to continue to be involved. I wanted to say one thing about the candidates. I'm too, like Lawrence, extremely pleased to have such a contested election. And I also feel that there's a slight imbalance because obviously previous trustees or trustees currently serving have an advantage over those who haven't been on the board or aren't serving at the moment. That's something that I'm sure everyone will try and take into account when they listen to answers, etc. But from my point of view, the trust model goes forward. One of the best bits of news that I've had this week is that the Parliamentary Committee on Football has called in the FA because they haven't implemented their proposals from the expert working group. And that applies from the top right down to us at this level and below. So I think that's great news for the trust movement, and I want to see that continue here.
My name is Chris Holding. I was a trustee for 6 years and had to resign for the last year, and I'm standing again to seek to be re-elected. I've also had the privilege to serve on the trust model, a members own model, but I do think that one needs to recognise the constraints that brings to a club, especially in the short term. In the medium long term, those constraints may actually turn out to be a blessing. But at the moment, as others have alluded to, and the club alluded to in their statement, or State of the Nation article, there are others who are throwing money at this. And we are therefore basically going backwards by staying in exactly the same position in terms of budgets. That's a really difficult position. In the long term, the people who are throwing money may not be able to sustain that in their club. I'm seeking re-election. I believe that the club and trust have worked together reasonably well over the last 2 years that I've been involved. I think a significant amount of progress has been made. I will come to some of that in some of the questions, but it's very difficult for us to communicate exactly how that change has been effected in an open manner without breaching confidentiality and some commercial confidences. But I do think things have changed, but I would hope to be able to be part of making that continue for the best purposes for us in terms of the football club that we own.
Good morning. My name's Sean Devine, ex-Exeter City football player. As you well know, I've been away for 10 years, but Exeter's always been a club dear to my heart. Had a very good rapport with the fans when I was here and was looked after as a player. The reason why I'm standing, I just feel that, you know, this is no disrespect to anyone on the board or you know, with the trust, but I feel someone with a little bit of a football background may help with the trust moving forward. As I say, it's a club that I hold dear to my heart, and whatever capacity I can help, whether it's on the trust or whether it's involved with the club, that's where I want to be. So, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, my name is Clive Harrison. I live in St Mary and I'm standing for the first time. I've been involved with the Junior Grecians and ball boy coordinator here at the club. Hopefully you will have read my manifesto and have some idea about my professional background. But basically, I spent 20 years in the hotel and catering industry as a general manager and a business owner. And currently I'm self-employed and own a number of businesses online in retail and travel. Basically, there are a number of people standing for election now, 12. It's a great increase from last year, and I think there's a reason for that. There's a reason because people are a little dissatisfied with how the trust is going. Maybe it's not communicating so well with its members. They feel that there's more need for accountability, and I think I'll come to that in my questions. I don't want to repeat myself here, but thank you all for coming this morning and listening to what we all have to say.
Paul?
I'll be brief. Paul Farley, I've been a trustee for 6 years, I've been a volunteer for 14, I'm absolutely passionate about the trust model, extolling its virtues wherever I go. It's been a privilege to be a board member. It's hard work, but it's been a privilege, and I do think we are making changes, huge changes, and I see that in this communication. We'll talk about that later.
Mark?
Hi, I'm Mark Cordell, Exeter City fan all my life. First game we were away at Barnet, I think in '97. I've been coming ever since. Supported the Red or Dead campaign when that was there, and always willing to contribute where I can. With regards to standing on the board, it's my first time attempting it. I think probably previously I've perhaps not been ready. I'm the second youngest person here at 30. But I think from my manifesto you'll see that I completely understand I want the trust model to continue. I simply understand that the club is a business, and with passionate views of some people it's not always possible to do everything, because we have to firstly maintain the stability of that business, and obviously that will ensure the longevity of the football club.
Thank you very much.